Hey everyone, this is Rachel, and today I'm here with a new scrapbooking process video. Thanks so much for joining me here, and I hope you enjoy. If you could flick me a thumbs up, that would be super awesome, and I would love it if you would become a subscriber. You can also click on the notification bell so you always know when I have a new video up. Alright folks, let's get going! Hey everyone, and welcome to my first layout using the For the Love of Homemade Kits April kit. It's going up a little bit late. It's supposed to be up on Mondays, but that just wasn't going to happen this week. So what I have is a piece of cardstock that I have gessoed, partially, not the whole thing. I've got kind of an idea brewing in my head, but I'm not exactly sure how it's going to work out, so we will see. I'm going to be playing with watercolors in this kit. I've pulled in some creamies in Luck of the Irish, Lapis Dance, and One Hot Mama. As I said, I did gesso this page. I used white gesso accidentally. I don't actually like using white gesso on white paper because the whites don't necessarily mesh. But it's what I used accidentally, and I wasn't going to start a new paper. I have several photos, whoopsie, cut down to 2x3s and then one 3x4. So altogether, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 photos. I'm not exactly sure, as I said, I have a plan, but it's not 100% set in stone. So we're kind of just going to see what's going to happen. I went ahead and spritzed some water from my Tim Holtz Express sprayer into each of the bottles just to soften the paint up. I have 2 Prima water pens. Excuse me, sorry, allergies are kicking my butt. I usually prefer to use paint brushes and water, and that's totally just a personal choice. But I have these, and it's fine. I'm being kind of lazy because now I don't have to go get water for them, for our little cups. All right, I have begun to natter on, so I'm going to go ahead and get you guys put on fast forward. Before I do, 2 things. One, in the description box below, there will be a link to all the others participating in the For the Love of Homemade kits for the month of April. Also, if you could flick me a thumbs up, that would be super awesome. Alrighty, let's get going. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is really speed through the watercoloring part. I am in no way a watercoloring specialist. I'm just looking to create a background. So I'm doing swirly stripes in the 3 colors, and then intermittently, that's the word I'm looking for, I'm adding some spritzes of water. Once I actually turn the camera off for this part, I am going to spritz a little bit more water on it and kind of swirl and twirl around. Oh, I guess I did put it on camera. I'm really just looking for a background, and now here you see it is all dry. I'm trying to figure out what side I want it in on. Yes, it does curl up a little bit. No, I don't necessarily mind that. I found that once I put it away in my album, it flattens out enough that I'm okay with it. If you hear a whirring noise, my housemate is making fabric masks, so that's all that is, so I'm sorry. So I had already pre-picked some 6x6 pieces of paper from the Amy Tangerine Rise and Shine 6x6 paper pad I had picked to go in this kit. And all I'm doing is creating triangles on the edge of the right-hand side. Now, I had seen several different scrapbookers do some sort of variation on this look. Some sewed them down. I don't sew. Some did it all the way around, but I felt with this background, it was busy enough just doing it on one edge. Now, once I get all of them lined up, I'm going to go ahead and just trim off what's hanging off on with the side of my paper. So that way all you're seeing is just the little bits of triangles on the right-hand side. So this is one of those things where right now the background looks kind of creepy. And I don't know, I'm so sorry. I tilted my camera. I did not mean to. So you're not going to see like a centimeter of the bottom, but there really isn't anything going on that you don't see. But my apologies. So I'm just adding some extra tape. One thing to know, and I actually afterwards went back and added some liquid glue. When you gesso a page using a dry glue like an ATG or, oh sugar, like a Tombow Mono adhesive, it does not necessarily bond awesomely. I always do a mix of dry and wet glue when I've used gesso, just to be on the safe side. Now, originally, I had not planned to do any more pattern paper behind my photos, but once I laid my photos down, I realized it needed an extra oomph. So I just took those same papers that I had used for my corner pieces and added them behind my layout. I'm a goofball, not layout, behind my photos, duh. Now I had wanted to use that paper, it's a tone-on-tone heart piece, but the angle didn't work out well over on my little corner things, so I was super glad that I got to use it as part of my layered, piled up photo mat that I've got going on here. So you'll see I got a little glue in my background, no big deal. So you'll see here's where I'm going ahead using some of the ATG and then going in and grabbing my art glitter clear glue, because as I said, it really can get quite non-bonding because of the gesso. The gesso is a barrier. It is something that's meant to keep things from bonding. So if you ever try to watercolor on an ungessoed piece of paper, your paint isn't going to go anywhere because it's immediately going to sink in. Once you add that gesso, as you could see from the beginning of my photo, I added some water and my paint moved around. So I'm lining up my photos because I've got the really loosey-goosey background and I've got my papers piled at different angles. It really was important to me to have my photos be straight. And that's just something that it's a personal choice for me. If you're fine with your photos also being wonky, that is absolutely a personal choice. I've got this one extra photo that isn't going to fit into my little square, and it's actually a really cool photo. These are really cool. I know they're smaller photos, but my nephew was in the audience of a show, so they aren't necessarily the world's best photos, but I did want to kind of highlight that one. And what I'm going to do from this pattern paper is I'm going to trim out 3 of the little boxes and use them for my journaling. So what my nephew did is, excuse me, I've got some allergies, so I've got a little tickly throat, so I apologize. So what my nephew is going to is in downtown capital city of my state, there was a giant festival of puppets. So some of you may be aware, some of you may not. The State University of Yukon in Connecticut has an amazing puppetry program. In fact, a lot of puppeteers or puppet masters, I don't know exactly what the correct term is, who work on Sesame Street or Jim Henson, or they work on Broadway or off Broadway and stuff. A lot of them go through the Yukon puppetry program. And one of my nephew's friends is in that program, and they were one of the puppet holder people for the show. So he actually went down with some other friends and went to this downtown puppet show, which is what the title of my layout is going to be. So as you can see, I've just been kind of adding things. That mandala was part of the aqua blue die cut pack I added to my homemade kit, and it just kept drawing my eye. So I split it in half and put it at the bottom and top of my photo area. I then chose 3 of the different colors from the Simple Stories Snap alphas to do my title, and I really, really like the way this turned out. I thought it was just really cute. The colors matched super nicely, and I love the way it lined up next to those photos. And now I'm going ahead and putting down my journaling boxes, and I'm just going to write down exactly what I told you guys. For those of you who love little Xanthe stories, I will tell you that she is currently laying in the doorway so that the dogs cannot pass because they are terrified of her. Bonus Xanthe story for you. All right, I'm actually almost finished here. The last thing I'm going to do is add some more art glitter clear glue, but rather than enamel dots or sequins, I'm going to use wood veneer. Simply because I have so much color in this so far, even though the colors are muted, I just wanted to bring in more of a neutral for my little embellishment add-on at the end, and so I went with the wood stars rather than anything more colorful. Thank you guys for joining me. Don't forget to check out the description box below to see a link to everyone, including the people who are joining us for the first time this month. Have a wonderful time crafting, and I hope you also share your crafting love too. Bye!